Hey everybody, it's Carmela here. So glad to be with you on today. It's been such a long time since I've been live inside the group. I've been going live on my personal page, really pushing and promoting the events and the opportunities to work with us in small group sessions. I don't do much one-on-one coaching anymore. I do a lot more group sessions, and I really like those because it brings a different level of energy and excitement to the group. Everybody has ideas. I love seeing the camaraderie, the networking, or I would call it the fellowship. You know, I'm just seeing some amazing things happen in cohort number 1 of our Elite Women's Academy. I'm watching these women build their businesses, connect with each other on very, real and relevant levels. And that's always exciting to me because anything that we build, we can never build it by ourselves. It takes somebody else to, come along with you and to help you and support you. So as you jump on, just say hello. Let me know you're there. I'm only going to take up about 15 minutes of your time today. I have 3 things that I'm going to share with you just in some business tips. Hey, ladies, so glad y'all could jump on. I'll be live again on Wednesday at 12:15 as well to share with you some more free business tools and tips. Hey y'all, hey, thank you for saying hello. That lets me know you can see me and you can hear me. All right, here we go. Number one, the business tips for today is tell your story. Hey y'all, tell your story. Now this is interesting because a lot of times we like to, in business, we want to make it look like, and you do have to be careful what you share, but a lot of times in business, we like to make it look like it's all together or has always been all together. But when you begin to go live on your social media pages, and when you begin to go live in your business groups and you're trying to connect with your ideal audience, it is so important that you have crafted your story. That means you've identified the struggles that you faced in business or the struggles that you faced that led you to where you are. Because a lot of times I was on one of my friends' pages from California, and she is a cosmetologist and she does hair care and things of that nature. So she has a really expensive and expensive is probably not the right word. She has a very high quality hair product line. Well, usually when it leads to that, it's because they've struggled with their own hair and scalp issues, or their children have struggled with it. And so she's able to craft and tell her story. Listen at this. Not only is she running the salon, not only is she selling products, but now she's doing workshops and trainings, helping other cosmetologists be able to scale their businesses by sharing their struggles, by sharing the things that they've overcome, and to help them connect with their audience at another level. And so you have to be able to do that. What struggles did you face? How is that pain pushing you in business? Right. For me, I've shared several times. It took me 18 months to get my first corporate contract when I went into business full time. It wasn't that I wasn't skilled. It wasn't that I didn't have the content and the information to put in front of the people. It was that I didn't have the right connections. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to connect or get my foot in the door, so to speak, with those people. For me, it was after I joined the chamber. And people saw my events at the chamber. So here locally, when you join the chamber, you can use their conference room. So it's a very professional setting. And so somebody called the chamber and thought that the chamber was hosting the event and was like, hey, I got 24 other leaders that y'all can add to your group. And the chamber was like, no, that's not a chamber event. It's one of our members' event. And then they connected the 2 of us together. And so from that, it led me into my first big corporate contract. And I say big now, it was big for me then because it was my first one. But that one, she referred me to somebody that paid me 4 times what I charged her. My referral that came from my first corporate contract. So my first corporate contract was $5,000. The one that she referred me to was $26,000. And so that was in 2016, I think it was 2016, 2017. But I only got my foot in the door because after running all over the place, trying to connect with people, I was using social media. I was sending out postcards. I was sending out letters. People saw me in this area as a pastor. They did not see me as a leadership expert. They did not see me as a trainer. And so from the pain of that, That was a very frustrating time, but we're going to talk about tenacity on step number 3. But you got to be to a place where you're just not willing to give up, that you're going to be so hungry for what it is that you want and for the vision and the dream that you have, that you will go after it. So you got to be able to tell your story. So how does that lead me to where I am now? Well, when COVID hit, the corporate contracts that I had lined up for 2020 were canceled. And so what I did was I niched down to work with small business owners. And I know that as a small business owner, I know the struggle that I had. I know how long it took me to figure out how to work my finances, right? Because when the money was coming in, because I didn't have a payroll account, at first I didn't even have a business account with my business name on it, because when I got one check, it was like $7,000. I couldn't even cash the check. I had to go in, open the business account. Then I had to deposit the check. Then I had to wait 7 days, because see, when you have big checks, they don't just give you your money. You got to wait 7 days for those large checks to clear the bank. All of that stuff I learned by doing. I learned the hard way. And so as a business coach, now I'm able to help put a business blueprint together specifically for your business, so to help you work through these things in phases so that you're not blindsided. So my coaching business for small business owners was birthed out of the pain and the struggle that I had trying to launch my own business 5 years ago. And that's what I mean by tell your story. Allow people to be able to relate. Allow people to be able to understand who you are and what you bring to the table. It gives you credibility. They can see, oh, okay, she knows what I'm going through. And so people can connect with you on a very real level. So number 1, tell your story. Don't be afraid to tell what you had to overcome to get to where you are. Number 2, check fear. Check fear. F-E-A-R. You have to check fear at the door, because I can't tell you don't be afraid, because that's not realistic. Every time you get ready to take a risk in your business, you got to check fear. Every time I launch a new product, a new program, I have to check fear. I have to tell myself that if God gave me this vision and he gave me this idea, that he would lead me to the people that I need to fill my programs. Because when I launched this program for $2,000, now, $2,000 in corporate is nothing, but $2,000 for a small business owner that's trying to get their business off the ground, my heart is, I just want to give it to them. So, because I know they're trying to build business, but the business person on the inside of me helps me to understand that I invested. And let me tell you, hear me. I invested in me. The certification that I got was $5,000. And then in order to stay into the mentoring program for my certification, it was $3,000 every year to renew it. So that first year in business, hear me, I had to invest $8,000 just to get the tools, the resources, the curriculum. And so for me, it really worked, because I had curriculum, I had everything. I didn't have to create anything. I just had to study it and be able to deliver it with excellence. But I just told you I didn't get a $5,000 check for 18 months. So here I am 2 years in. So I have spent 5, 3, and 3, 8, not $11,000 that I had to spend out of pocket and had not even made $5,000. It took me 18 months to be able to make my money back and get out the red. And so I want you to understand that you're worth the investment. You got to check fear at the door. And let me tell you, we didn't have $11,000 laying around this house. We didn't have $11,000 sitting in no savings account. I had to hustle for it. I had to save for it. I had to not eat out. There were some things. Now, I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get my hair done, because that is my way to treat me. But there were some other things that I had to sacrifice so that my business could be birthed. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't want to sacrifice. You see somebody doing something at a certain level and you was like, dang, I'm finna jump there. But you don't know, it took them 10 years to make that happen. It took them 5 years to make that happen. It took them 3 years to make that happen. And then the first 2 years they were broke, but they kept pushing so that they can make it happen. That's why I have to charge, because I know that if you make an investment, you show up. I have gifted programs to people and they don't show up. I'm not talking about a $2,000 program. I'm talking about a $50 ticket, a $150 ticket. You know, I would give people free access to events, and they don't show up. They show up when it's convenient for them. I hope I'm helping you as a business owner. I know you want to give everything away, but you got to allow the people to buy it. If God told you to start a business, then you have to charge. If he didn't want you to charge, he would have allowed you to start an organization where you can pour it into them freely, and then you could get sponsors to pay you. But if you started a for-profit business, you have to charge, and you have to check fear at the door. The fear that says they won't pay me. The fear that says they can't afford me. The fear that says nobody's going to take me seriously in this business. You have to check fear at the door, because faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. Faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. We understand this in church, but that same concept is true in business. It's true in every area of your life. You use your faith when you get sick to declare and decree your healing. Use that same faith in your business to call forth the people that are assigned to you. I remember when we first started our church 10 years ago, I used to say, I call in the ushers. I call in the prayer team. I call in the parking lot attendants. I was calling in every department that I could think of, everything that we needed in business. I was just calling it in by faith. You do the same thing in your business. Call in paying clients. Call in clients that value what it is that you bring to the table. Call in the tools and resources necessary for you to deliver a quality product and service. Begin to call in what it is that you need, because faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. Number 2 about fear, check fear. Don't allow other people's fear to stop you. I'm glad this is confirmation for you. Don't allow other people's fear to stop you, because what happens is when you get ready to take a big risk in business, it's sometimes family and friends that love you. Because I don't think most people don't do this, not family. They don't do it out of malicious intent. They do it to protect you. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to make a mistake. They don't want you to invest too much money that it causes you to go in lack when you're trying to build your business. However, you got to understand as an entrepreneur that you have to take healthy risk. Healthy risk. And so you cannot allow them to project their fear of failure on you. You got to be willing to check that. You got to check that fear at the door, and you have to say, Mama, you know I love you, but this is something that I got to do, and I just need you to support me in it, and be done with it. And be done with it. So number 1 is tell your story. Number 2 is check fear. And number 3 is have tenacity. Have tenacity. Tenacity meaning persistence, a firm grip, determination, tenacity. You're not going to give up. That you're gonna fight for it. That you have like a bulldog grip when it comes to your business. That's what I mean when I say tenacity. I got a quote here that I want to share with you, and it's on the phone that I'm using to talk to you, so I got to pull it up on my laptop. But listen, you have to have persistence. Tenacity means, okay, I'm going to give you a couple of words. Number 1 is persistence. So even if things don't work out the way that you think that they should work out, you got to be persistent. You can't quit. You can't give up. You can't continue to start over, right? Quit quitting on you. I see that so much. It's like, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna start my business over November 1st. And they start the business over November 1st. Things are going good. About 6 weeks in, there's some type of dip in business, because you do know that businesses have ebbs and flows. So there's times business is up and times business is down. That's why you got to be a good steward of your finances so that you can sustain in the lean months. And so what they do is they quit, and then the spring comes, say, okay, I'm going to relaunch, I'm going to start over. And then the summer month, there's a dip, and then they quit again. And then in the fall, okay, I'm going to start over. And then October, I'm going to start over because the holidays are coming. You got to quit quitting. Because what happens is your customers see that you're inconsistent. And so you got to be consistent. I challenged my team one day. I said, I want y'all to go live for 30 days. And so several of them did. I mean, a ton of them did. But for about the first 2 weeks, there wasn't much activity. because people are watching you for your consistency. But something happened in week 3. In week 3, it was like the floodgates open, because now your people know, oh, she for real. She gonna be on here every day. And so guess what happened in week 3 and week 4? People started showing up. People was waiting on them. And many of them made more money than they had ever made in business because of their own consistency. And so sometimes we like to blame it on the customer and be like, well, I just don't have the support in the business. No, you don't have tenacity. You don't have consistency. You don't have persistence. You got to have a firm grip and determination on your vision and on your goal. And you got to be willing to do whatever you got to do to make it happen. I hope y'all hear me now. You got to do whatever is necessary, whatever is required for you to make it happen. You got to make it happen. And when you make it happen, things will shift for you. So like when you tell your story, things will shift for you, because you begin to connect with people who thought that you were stuck up, or they thought that you were untouchable. You know, you begin to connect with them on a very real level. When you check fear at the door, you'll find yourself investing in yourself at another level. You'll find yourself saving. You'll find yourself sacrificing. You'll find yourself letting things go that don't mean a lot. This is what you're doing. You are giving up. You're giving up instant gratification for something of greater value down the road. Give up something that provides you gratification right now. It could be valuable, but you know that the value is much greater when you go down the road, when you build your business, when you get to a place where now you can give yourself a salary, when you get to the place where you can pay yourself, pay your business, and you ain't broke and the business ain't broke. So you have to be willing to sacrifice. Here it is. This is the poem that I want to close with. And this poem is by Les Brown, and it's about tenacity. So all these things go together. So listen, we have a program that's coming up on December 13th. If you missed our Jumpstart Masterclass that we had in October, we're having it again on December 13th. The class is $250. It's a business expense. And so you're looking for tax write-offs and things of that nature. Pay it out of your business, invest in yourself, and we're going to look at ways for you to master your message, how to get you in front of your ideal client. And I'm not just going to be preaching at you. There's time you're actually going to have to talk back. You're going to it's interactive. There's engagement that's going on. There's breakout sessions that happen in that 3-hour workshop. And so I will be pouring into you. I have testimonials that I've been sharing of what other people have said that have gone through this program. But I can tell you this, you are guaranteed to learn something in that class that can help you take your business to the next level. But you got to be willing to make the investment in you. So here we go. And this is Les Brown's poem about tenacity. When you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your peace and your sleep and your time for it. If only the desire of it makes you aim strong enough never to tire of it. If life seems all empty and useless without it, and all that you dream and you scheme is about it. If gladly you'll sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, pray with all your strength for it. If you'll simply go after the thing you want with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither poverty, nor cold, nor famish, nor gaunt, nor sickness or pain to body or brain can turn you away from the aim that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, you will get it. Tenacity. You got to be willing to give up for it, give up some sleep for it, give up some peace for it, give up some time for it, give up some money for it. You got to dream about it. You got to write about it. You are singing about it. You are thinking about it. You can't do anything, everything that you do, every cartoon you watch, you can see your business in it. Every movie you see, you can see your business in it. Every conversation you have, it leads back to your business. Then you are at the right place to jump in and take that business to the next level. And I would love to help you do it. Y'all have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow.